Hello everyone, I'm Kibitz and welcome back to Satisfactory, where last time we finished up our huge rubber plant here, and can now produce something like 9,000 rubber per minute. And also we got started with a lot of the decorating, so it's mostly done. Keyword being mostly. So today we're gonna go through the rest of it and get this place 100% complete so we can move on to the next project. And if you're excited for that, remember to leave a like. And fortunately for us, there isn't too much left to do here. The main big thing is connecting up all of the rubber to some trains and then getting the rubber actually out of this biome. But also we have the other tiny task of dealing with all the rest of the resources in this biome, like all the caterium, iron, coal, etc. We got all the space in the world to deal with it, so it shouldn't be too big of a problem. And we can mess around with all the soft clearance stuff that I haven't actually messed with yet. So in update 5, you're able to build belts within machines, essentially. So if we wanted to, if we're going pure chaotic evil, we could just have a belt running through a machine. Like, we could do that. Now, obviously I won't, but there's opportunity to make some pretty neat stuff. So I'd love to see what I could come up with. But first, oh my gosh, we have a problem. You'll never guess the problem. Oh boy, it's a nuclear problem. What is going on? Why is the power graph like this? The nuclear power should be steady. How does it go down to 240 megawatts to like up to 314? I guess it wouldn't really be a Kibitz Satisfactory video if we weren't messing with some kind of nuclear Armageddon. Though I think I know what this problem could be, but let's check things out first. All right, most things are running and we're chock full of nuclear waste. Fantastic, happened again. Like every other day. Why is there so much nuclear waste? Why? Oh, the reactors are stalling. Wait, we have a control room for this. We don't need to just look at the factory. Thank goodness we made the control room. So, something that probably happened was we ran out of a critical material. Like, let's look down here. Yeah, so things are still technically moving. Like, we're still making the plutonium fuel rods and getting rid of the waste. And that's why the power graph is looking so funky. But it hasn't turned off yet because it's still working technically. It's just clogged up, something's bottlenecked. And again, I have a good feeling of what it is. So you see, there's multiple reasons why we built that massive rubber factory. One of which is because we had to do it eventually. And the second reason, and probably more important reason, is because we don't have a good solid rubber supply in our world. We have a power plant that makes some rubber as like residue, but that's mostly for building. And yep, we have run out of rubber for one of the main products now for our nuclear power plant here, thus everything is going wrong. So what would this have been? What is this? Steel beams, electromagnetic control rods. I think those are heat sinks. A beacon. What does the beacon say? Be mad you won't pass Kibs. I hate you past me. You're the worst. You see, I knew this problem would happen eventually. I thought we had more time. Okay, so that's the thing. We're not making enough rubber to make enough heat sinks. Because way over here on the other side of the world, we have a massive fuel power plant. It's making a lot of power, 100,000 megawatts or so, I'm pretty sure. But as a byproduct, it's also making rubber, but slowly. Well, slowly as in only like 750 rubber per minute across an entire planet. Yeah, that's not a lot. And then the train that's taking this rubber out to the nuclear power plant goes around the whole world as well and supplies all the other factories in our world with this same supply of rubber. And like with the nuclear build, our heat sink production over here has probably been suffering significantly. Yeah, there's like literally none. And that's effectively destroying the world. Well, good thing is we're making the heat sinks right next door to our giant rubber facility. All we have to do is get a chew from A to B here. So underneath the platform, we have these train stations. That's the one that takes the heat sinks to the power plant. This is the train that just goes around the world supplying like random factories with random things. And here is where the rubber should be output, but we're only moving like 216 items per minute. Not a lot, not enough. So let's make another train platform off on the other end here. And then we can simply just transfer like 5 freight cars full of rubber into the other system. And that isn't like the best solution long term, but it will fix our nuclear problem for sure. And hey, We'll probably be able to overproduce plutonium rods and get rid of all the nuclear waste if we're lucky. Smile.
You see, that's a blatant lie. In future, Kibitz will probably have to deal with that problem in some respect in the future.
But present Kibitz doesn't care. So let's go. So now I just have to connect these 12 lines of rubber to a train and send it out into the world. And not all of them produce the same amount. Most of them are 750 lines of rubber, and then some of them are odd runoff ones. So let's just focus on getting the main lines sent over first. We have them coming over like this. How do we get them into the train station? Well, obviously with these, and we just start from the top and kind of bring it down. Yeah, that should work out. So you would come over here, please. And this would just go to the closest entrance, load that up, and it's good to go. We have another platform over here. The next belt, scoot from the top over to there as well, and then in there. Then the other belts will be running underneath and become the new top belt and feed into the next train station. With that basic concept, you just waterfall and repeat the pattern for every train station, organize it a little bit, and you're good to go. For the other extra weird lines, I just split them evenly between all of the freight cars up above, because it will probably work out. Dude, I don't know. We're just gonna go with this for now. It'll be fine. And let's get the train scootin'. So BCL R1 out, Blue Crater Lake, Rubber 1 out. Finished up the train station at the aluminum area too, so we can just turn this bad boy on and we are good to go. We get to deliver our first shipment of rubber and save the world, both in one foul swoop. It's not bad. And even better, I have a new solution for our nuclear power plant, so new problems don't spring up in the future. You see, I have gotten an assistant, not a new one I've worked with before who was on medical leave for a bit. Our old buddy Bart, who is now head lead of the nuclear power plant and will keep everything in check. Right, Bart? Right. Look, he's even cleaning the floor, getting the mushrooms out of the whatever. Good job. And he'll have an emergency board in case he needs my help with anything, right? Right. And if he sees that any of the switches need to be pulled, he can just jump over the fence, pull a lever, everything gets solved. Good. So you hang out here, you watch over the plant, and if anything goes wrong, you're the blame. Deal? Good. So back to the rubber plant and into the projects I really wanted to work on today, which was dealing with all of those other materials. And just kind of for fun, I took my time and I tried to do something different with some smelters here. I tried to compact the design and do a little bit of clipping to see if I could make something different, you know? Usually it's just a huge row of smelters, right? And it's just, okay, overflow, da-da-da, all done, all easy. And, you know, just dipping my toes in the clipping waters. Managed to get some belts in here so it's nice and walkable. This could go up to like a platform. And I've kind of injected half of the material, so most of it goes through here. Then it's split in half and overflows through 5 machines. Then it goes up here, kind of clips through the other boundaries of the smelters, then scoots into here, and another source goes into these 6 different smelters. So yeah, it's kind of just overflow, definitely a lot of the same. But before, you weren't able to do this where you have the belts going through the clearance of a smelter like this. So it's a little bit more compact, but I feel like we could do even better. This is just a good start. Main thing is, we have a bunch of coal here, so we could make a bunch of steel. We may or may not do that, but definitely we want to use the copper and have that go through some refineries. In refineries, I have some cool ideas for. Oh, and we have Caterium as well still. Yeah, but now we're really gonna have to do a big boop here because, oh man, I built a giant curved window here, and curves are all well and good, but oh man, when you're tying the designs together with like a square build, you run into a lot of problems. But I'll let you guys in on a huge secret here of the building community. Most of the time when you have these designs, you're gonna end up with like those weird places where things don't really work out. You know what pretty much all builders do? They just hide those like weirdness places in empty rooms. So there's just like this huge, empty, inefficient space in here, but it hides all of this stuff. Or like when these walls collide, all this stuff can be hidden too. It's easy. Definitely the way you want to go about it, or else you're gonna just absolutely lose your mind. It's too much. So it'll be in a few hours, and yeah, generally speaking, just hiding, clipping things together, making things look like they generally should make sense. It's kind of like our best course of action with a lot of these places. And I did a decent job here. Still gonna need a couple of floors here and there to really bring it all together, but generally, everything looks normal for now. This was a complete mess, FYI, but that kind of looks like art or something, right? Just don't notice that the pillars aren't aligned here and everything's great. No, I noticed that. I'll change that probably, but probably later. This space here, I was talking about we could be making some steel. So we have all the furnaces downstairs and we have all the coal, and there's this excellent recipe where you can make solid steel ingots. It's very efficient, very good. Iron ingots, coal, boom, bada bing, good to go. However, we might be bringing over all of that coal to the aluminum setup, so I don't want to mess with that just yet. So instead, we're gonna work with the refineries probably only today, and they're gonna be up here. And the best thing of all, I didn't even plan this, is that these clip through the ceiling. What a weird world where that's actually good news. But no, just like the tiniest bit of the smokestack peeks through the roof. So once we're all said and done with things, instead of just being just this flat surface, it's gonna be the little chimneys everywhere emitting some smoke. That's gonna look great. Very excited for that. And as for everything else, all we just need to do is bring some water and materials up here and build a couple machines. We have like 600 Caterium. Okay, a lot of people always ask for the math on this stuff. It's usually pretty straightforward. It's like, for me, I always overclock things to the maximum. So clock speed, 250%. That means the basic 100% needs to be timed by 2.5. So that's 24 times 2.5. You press N to pull up this calculator, by the way. Times 2.5 is 60. And we have 600 Caterium. Each machine takes 60. 600 divided by 60, 10 machines. GG easy. So that'll be our Caterium. And then we're making some copper ingots here as well. And same process. 2.5 times 15 is 37.5. So each refinery takes that much copper ore. We actually have 780 copper ore per minute. So that means we need pretty much 21 machines. And then the water, well, same process. So now with all these refineries, how do we give it that update 5 spice, you know? Well, I was kind of thinking of having like belts and pipes going through the machines, but man, the refineries, too thick, they're huge, and it'd clip like a lot. Like I was thinking of putting like a pipe through this little area, but those triangles in there have an animation, so it would clip all the time, and it'd be a little bit much. But, you know what else happened with update 5? We got beams, and they can help us out so much. And specifically with refineries too. Because refineries, they usually use like a liquid and a solid, right? Well, now we can use beams to get stuff off the ground. All we gotta do is kind of find the middle here and go forward. Then we can start putting pipes up here on the beams. Of course, we're probably gonna need 2 pipes. We need about 1,200 water for all these refineries for everything. And I have the water over there. And if we have 2 pipes up here, we need a support. So then we just have 2 beams. Wow. The amazing technology of update 5. However, I must say, that little like 40-meter marker there, that is very handy. I am happy that exists for measurement purposes. And we scoot down the line, just balancing on beams like a circus performer or whatever. But while we're putting things together, we'll have a middle beam here too, so it's just 3 in a row. But later on, we can just get rid of the middle one and call it a day. That way we can actually see through the beams from walking on the floor or on some platforms, and we can see the pipe's measurement meters. Or whatever you call like the little thing. You know, the thing, where's the thing? Up here, thing, this thing. It's an extremely handy visible aid. Ooh, and I just realized having all the pipes up here will allow us to do some pretty efficient things. So for all these machines, these are the Caterium refineries. They're going to take exactly 600 water per minute. And the ones for copper are gonna take like 550-ish water per minute, which is not a full 600 pipe. So we can do some pipe load balancing to make things even more efficient. And same thing with the belts as well. We'll have the full floor free for all of our fun and games. How's this gonna look from below? Will it look cool? Not if we do that. How about the other way? Oh yeah, that's pretty neat. A little weird, the blue and the red contrast a lot. Maybe we recolor things, I don't know. But at least the shape's pretty neat. Yeah, it's kind of like a rib cage. Okay, no, I actually lied. This is not a rib cage, it's just blue. Everything is now blue. Water fuels the land. Unlimited sippy drink for all of the machines. But like I said, we got the load balancing done up there now, so that's pretty cool. We just get rid of those little supports here and there. It all kind of makes sense. What color should we paint the beams? Blue as well, more blue, because this factory needs more blue. What about just black? Gray, I guess, for now. It's not bad. Yeah, have all the water in, and that was quite simple. Now, belts are usually more of the same. Just have to scoot them up from downstairs, bring them up, do a little bit of load balancing, and it should only take a second. Oh yeah, bud, this was the way. Update 5, man, it's just, everything's better. Everything's better, everything's easier. This is great. So yeah, load balance wise, we just have all the copper now going into a splitter, and since we have 21 machines, just splits equally 3 ways, and off it goes. Caterium, same deal, except we just split it in half first. So 2 parts of the system are loaded separately, and that just gets everything to boot faster. Speaking of, let's do it. It's time to turn it all on. Caterium, scoot, copper ore, let's rock and roll. Let's see how it goes. Did I enter the recipes correctly? I did. So many little mistakes I make like that all the time, but not this time, right? Yeah, no. Ooh, bud. Almost 100 copper ingots. Yeah, the alternate pure recipes for copper and caterium, just too good. The symmetry. Yeah, gotta love it. You know what? We can use the hover pack here. I was thinking of putting like a platform over top the belts so you could walk around here, but it just looks so good. You know what doesn't look good? Not having any more materials entering the system. Hello, copper? What's going on there, pal? Kinda needed you. Oh, I see. No power around here. Gotcha. I'll fix and organize the power in a second here, but for now, come on. Now, get over here. Give me the copper. I can reach, right? Dude, that's a miracle. Yeah, that's where our copper's coming from. It's a pure node over there. But with that running again, the copper flows, and we will get all of the copper ingots in the world. Speaking of, we're making 93.75 times 20.8, almost 2,000 copper per minute from one node. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We're gonna need that for all of the aluminum stuff we're gonna do later. But we're not done here yet. We have one more major task, and that is to actually finish up all the decorations and little logistical things that are left undone. And I wanna complete my to-do list. And for the most part, it's just 100 tiny little tasks, so of course, we're gonna boop it. And of course, the last thing is always the thing that takes the longest, but we're good. Floors are all filled in, walls are made, and for everything else we haven't dealt with, we have the areas organized so that we're ready to go. Few little caveats though. This box over here, this is actually random items for the storage room at our main base. And I still have to work on this, but I'll do that probably on my Twitch live streams. And more importantly, Bart, how's it being here? You've forgotten all about me? Not good news. How is the radioactive waste? Looking really, really bad, actually. Oh, and I was about to say, I thought there are no more plutonium fuel cells getting made. That's the disaster. But no, we got plenty of them moving. Okay, why are you so shy, buddy? Seems like things are going fine here. They're getting better for sure. Yeah, before, at the beginning of the episode, this was dipping down to like 240. Now it's kind of hovering around 350 to 280 megawatts, which means the waste is clearing up and soon this place is gonna be fully functional again. So good job, Bart, and good job us for finally getting this project done. However though, that's gonna be all for today, so I hope you guys enjoyed and thank you for watching, but have a fantastic rest of your day and bye-bye.